Good morning, students. How are you? Hope all are fine. Okay, say your prayer. Thank you. நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். Okay, students, take your social science book. Yeah, take page number 38. So today we will see about the MUVENDHARS. So the political powers of Tamilagam. Okay, yesterday we discussed about the Sangam age. Okay, in today's class we will gather information. We will discuss about the political powers of Tamilagam. Yeah, so the political powers of Sangam age Tamilagam. Okay, so just to recall what we have discussed in our previous class. So just we discussed about the Sangam age. So Sangam age is the early historic period. Yeah, so it is the important phase in history of Tamil Nadu because from this period onwards only we have written evidence. So this is the historic period in Tamil Nadu. Yeah, so this is the beginning of historic period. So we have a lot of written sources, especially Sangam literature sources and foreign sources that speaks about Tamilagam. Okay, so we have various evidence about the Sangam age. Then we discussed about the age of Sangam society, the chronology. Yeah. So according to various references, especially Greco-Roman text, then Tamil Brahmi inscriptions, then Ashoka inscriptions, we came to know that the Sangam age period is between 3rd century BC to 3rd century AD. So we have discussed that also. Then we discussed about the Thinai, so the concept, so the theme of the poem. So Thinai is a concept, a theme, okay, so which was represented in the Tamil grammar work Tolkappiyam. Okay, so the theme of the poem are broadly classified into two types. So what are they? Yeah, Agathinai, then Purathinai. Then the Tamilagam, so the landscape was divided into 5 regions. Yeah, so based on its characteristic feature, the landscape of Tamilagam was divided into 5. So what are they? Yeah, Kurinji, Mullai, Marudam, Neidal and Palai. So Kurinji refers to the hilly region, while Mullai refers to the forest and pastoral region. Then Marudam refers to the fertile riverine valley. Then Neidal, it refers to coastal region. Then Palai, sandy desert region. So we have discussed the 5 landscapes of Tamil Nadu. Okay, in today's class we will discuss about the political powers of Tamilagam. So Sangam age polity. The Sangam age has its roots in the Iron Age. So Iron Age. So here our ancestors began to make tools with the help of iron. Yes, initially our ancestors make tools with the help of stones, so that's why it was called as Stone Age. Then after Stone Age it was Iron Age in Tamil Nadu. So people began to make tools with the help of irons. Okay, so in the Iron Age people were organized into chiefdoms. So during Iron Age people were organized into chiefdoms. So people began to settle in a particular place, especially in the riverside. So they began to make tools and they settle in a particular place and organized themselves into a chiefdom. So chiefdom means nothing but a small kingdom. So they themselves arrange their area. So they themselves convert their area into a small kingdom. That is called as chiefdom. From such communities of Iron Age emerged the Vendhars of early historical period. So from such chiefdoms, so from such chiefdom community during the Iron Age emerged the Vendhars of early historic period and the valleys of the Sangam age. Okay, so from such a chiefdom community, so people began to settle in a particular place. So they arranged themselves into a small kingdom. So from such community of Iron Age emerged the Vendhars of early historic period. So from such community, from such chiefdom community only, so the Vendhars of early historic period. So you have already know about the MUVENDHARS, no? So such MUVENDHARS may be emerged from such chiefdoms only. Okay, so the Mauryan emperor Ashoka so conquered Kalinga and parts of Andhra and Karnataka regions. Okay, so the Mauryan empire, so the famous Mauryan empire, the Ashoka the Great. So in his inscriptions we have some references about the MUVENDHARS. Okay, so in this inscription, it was mentioned to the south of Mauryan Empire. There were some rulers, so who ruled south part of Tamil Nadu, south part of India. So that is Chera, Chola, Pandya. So there it was mentioned in Ashoka's inscription. So MUVENDHAR. So who were the MUVENDHARs? Chera, Chola, Pandya. So among the political powers of the Sangam age, the Cheras, the Cholas and the Pandyas occupied preeminent position. So preeminent means most important position. So among the political powers of the Sangam age in Tamil Nadu, the Cheras, Cholas and Pandyas occupied the preeminent position. They were known as MUVENDHAR. So MUVENDHAR. So three kings. So they were known as three kings. The MUVENDHAR controlled the major towns and ports of the Sangam period. So the MUVENDHARs, they controlled the major towns and ports of the Sangam period. So among the political powers of the Sangam age, the Chera, the Chola and Pandyas occupied the most important position. They were together called as MUVENDHARs. So these MUVENDHARs controlled the major towns and ports of the Sangam period. So in this map, you can see the territorial region of the MUVENDHARs. So the Cheras, who ruled the western part of Tamil Nadu, that is with Kerala, they ruled the western part of Tamil Nadu. Then the Cholas, so ruled the northern part of Tamil Nadu. So the Kaveri region, so the Kaveri Delta was controlled by the Cholas. Then the Pandyas, so they occupied the southern part of Tamil Nadu. As you can see in this map. So the territorial region of the MUVENDHARs. So Chera, Chola, Pandya. First, the Cheras. So the Cheras, so they were referred to us as Kerala Putras in the Ashoka inscription. So the present day Kerala territory was Kerala state. So the Cheras were referred as Kerala Putras in the Ashoka inscription, who controlled the region of present day Kerala and also the western part of Tamil Nadu. So the Cheras, referred to as Kerala Putras in the Ashokan inscription, controlled the region of present day Kerala. So Kerala state, it is located to west of Tamil Nadu. So the Cheras controlled the western Tamil Nadu and also present day Kerala. So their capital city was Vanji. So Vanji was the capital of the Cheras. Then their port town was Musiri and Tondi. So Vanji was their capital city. Then Musiri and Tondi was their port towns. So Vanji is identified with Karur in Tamil Nadu, while some others identify it with Thiruvanjaikalam in Kerala. So Vanji is identified with Karur in Tamil Nadu. But some people argue that Vanji is now Thiruvanjaikalam in Kerala. So Paditrapattu. So one of the text from 8 anthologies, so which was written during the Sangam age period. So one of the book from Padinin Mail Kanakku, so 18 major works. So Padinin Mail Kanakku, 18 major works was divided into two now. Pattu Pattu and Ettu Thogai. That is 10 idols and 8 anthologies. So in that 8 anthologies, one text is Paditrapattu. So that Paditrapattu speaks about the Chera kings and their territory. So the Cheras wore garlands made from the flowers of the palm tree. So the Cheras wore garlands. So garland means a wreath of flowers and leaves worn on the head as a decoration. So that is flowers. So the palm tree flowers. So they wore as a decoration. So the Cheras wore garlands made from the flowers of the palm tree. The inscriptions of Pugalur near Karur mention the Chera kings of 3 generations. So the inscriptions of Pugalur. So Pugalur, a place, a town located near Karur city. So near Karur, that mentions about the Chera kings of 3 generations. The coins of Chera kings have been found in Karur in Tamil Nadu. So the coins of Chera kings have been found in Karur. So Paditrapattu speaks about the Chera kings and their territory. It was said that Paditrapattu speaks about 10 Chera kings. But the inscriptions of Pugalur near Karur mentions about the Chera kings of 3 generations. And also we got some coins that belongs to Chera king in Karur. So we also got some coins in Karur that belongs to the Chera kings of Sangam age. So the Silappatikaram speaks about a famous Chera king, Cheran Chengutuvan. So the Silappatikaram, one of the epic of Tamil. Yeah. So speaks about Charan Chengutuvan. He built a temple for Kannagi. So the protagonist of the epic. Yeah. So Charan Chengutuvan built a temple for Kannagi, a protagonist. So protagonist means the important character of the epic Silappatikaram. Yeah. So So Silappatikaram. So the main character was Kovalan and Kannagi. Yeah, so Kannagi was the protagonist of the epic Silappatikaram. Okay, so Charan Chengutuvan built a temple for Kannagi. So legend has it that Ilango who composed the Silappatikaram. Yeah, so the important one is, so Silappatikaram was composed by Ilango Adigal. So Ilango Adigal was the brother of Charan Chengutuvan. Okay, so the Silappatikaram speak about Charan Chengutuvan who built a temple for Kannagi. So Kannagi was the most important character of the epic Silappatikaram. Yeah, so Silappatikaram was composed by Ilangavadigal. So who was Ilangavadigal? So he was the brother of Charan Chengutuvan. Okay, ma? So the symbol of the Cheras was the bow and arrow. Yeah, so the bow and arrow was the symbol of the Cheras. Then the Cholas. So the Cholas ruled over the Kaveri Delta and the northern part of Tamil Nadu. The Cholas ruled the Kaveri Delta and the northern part of Tamil Nadu. Their capital city was Urayur. So the capital of Cholas was Urayur and their port town was Kaveri Pumbattinam, otherwise called as Pumbuhar, where the river Kaveri drains into Bay of Bengal. Okay, so their capital, the capital city of Cholas was Urayur and their port town was Kaveri Pumbattinam, otherwise called as Pumbuhar. So in Pumbuhar only the river Kaveri drains into Bay of Bengal. Pattinapalai. So Pattinapalai comes under 11 கீழ்கணக்கு நூல்கள். ஓகேவா? So comes under 11 கீழ்கணக்கு. ஓகேவா? So Pattinapalai is a long poem about Kaveri Pumbattinam or Pumbuhar, which was composed by the poet Kadiyalur Urthirangannanar. Yes, so Pattinapalai is a long poem that speaks about Kaveri Pumbattinam, composed by the poet Kadiyalur Urthirangannanar. Then Silappatikaram, one of the epic that describes the trading activities at Kaveri Pumbattinam. So because Kaveri Pumbattinam is a port, so Silappatikaram describes the trading activities at Kaveri Pumbattinam. So both Pattinapalai and Silappatikaram so describes about Kaveri Pumbattinam. So Silappatikaram, apart from epic, it mentions it describes about some of the cities of ancient Tamilagam. Silappatikaram describes the trading activities at Kaveri Pumbattinam. So who wrote Silappatikaram? Yeah, Ilango. So Ilango Adigal. Then Pattinapalai, who composed Pattinapalai? Yeah, Kadiyalur Urthirangannanar. So Karihalan is notable among the Chola king. Yeah, so Karihalan, one of the famous Sangam age Chola king. Yeah, so he was a important and a notable one. Yeah, so he was credited with bringing forest land under the plough and developing irrigation facilities by effectively utilizing the water from the river Kaveri. Yeah, so Karihalan, one of the notable Chola king. Yeah, so he was credited, he was praised for for changing the forest land to agriculture land. Okay, so he is credited with bringing the forest region, so forest land to agriculture land. Yeah, so he developed irrigation facilities by utilizing the water from the river Kaveri. Yeah, so he was the important king. So why he was considered as important means because he is credited with bringing forest land to agriculture land. So he bring forest land under the plough and develop irrigation facilities. So how he develop irrigation facilities? Yeah, by utilizing the water from the river Kaveri. Yeah, so by using the water from the river Kaveri, he developed the irrigation facilities. So the foundation for the extensive harnessing of water for irrigation purposes, which reached its zenith in later Chola times, that is from 10th to 12th 13th century, was laid in his time. Yeah, so he was the first, he was considered the first king of Sangam age, so who used Kaveri river water for irrigation purposes. Okay, so he laid foundation. Okay, so he built a dam, so Kallanai dam. Yeah, so thus storing the water and used it for irrigation purposes. Okay, so the foundation for the extensive harnessing. So harness means control or use. Okay, so he controlled the river Kaveri water by constructing a dam and used it for irrigation purpose. Okay, so he was the first person. He was considered the first king in Tamil Nadu to construct a dam in river Kaveri. So till the dam Kallanai is usable for Tamil people, especially for the Kaveri Delta people. Okay, so the foundation for the extensive harnessing of water for irrigation purposes reached its highest point in later Chola times was laid in his time. So he only begins the irrigation process. Okay, so in Tamil Nadu, so already irrigation process is going in Tamil Nadu. Okay, but he increased the, so he developed the irrigation facilities by utilizing the water from river Kaveri. So Karigalan, apart from improving the agriculture practice, he had battles. So he fought battles with the other kings, that is especially with the Pandyas, Cheras and the other chieftains. So Karigalan, so though he developed the irrigation facilities and agriculture practice, he had battles with the Pandyas, the Cheras and the other chieftains. Then the emblem of Chola was tiger. So the emblem of Chola was tiger. So the Chera, it was bow and arrow. So the Chola emblem was tiger, and they issued a square copper coins. So they issued a square shaped copper coins with the image of a tiger on the obverse. So that is on the front side it was tiger, and the elephant and the sacred symbols on the reverse. Okay, so they issued a square shaped copper coins with the images of a tiger on the obverse and elephant and sacred symbols on the reverse. So the Pandyas who ruled the southern part of Tamil Nadu are referred in the Ashokan inscription. So the Pandyas ruled the southern part of Tamil Nadu referred in the Ashokan inscription. Their capital city was Madurai. So the Pandyas ruled the southern part of Tamil Nadu with Madurai as their capital. Tamil literary tradition credits Pandyan rulers with patronizing Tamil Sangams and supporting the compilation of poems. Okay, so Tamil literary tradition credits that the Pandyan rulers only supported the establishment of Tamil Sangam, so Tamil academies. Okay, so you learned in Tamil now, so Muchangam. It was started, so it was patronized. So it was supported by the Pandyan rulers only. So Tamil literary works. So the traditional Tamil literary works. So credits that the Pandyan rulers were patronized with the Tamil Sangams. So the Pandyan rulers only patronized the Tamil Sangam. So Tamil literary works. So Tamil literary text says that the Pandyan rulers, so the Pandya kings only supported the Tamil Sangam, and they also supported the compilation of poems. So compilation means, so nothing but, so the old text, so the text which were written during several periods, so were collected together. So that is, they only supported the collection work of various texts that were written during various period. Okay, so they supported the compilation of poems. Okay, so the Pandyas ruled the southern part of Tamil Nadu referred in the Ashoka inscription. So their capital city was Madurai. So Tamil literary tradition credits the Pandyan rulers with patronizing Tamil Sangam. So Pandyan rulers only supported the Tamil Sangam. So they only gave support. So they only gave financial and moral support to the Tamil Sangams, and they supported the compilation of poems. So compilation, so nothing but, so the text, so which were written during various period of time were collected together and placed under a particular book or placed under a single text. Okay, so that is compilation. So the poems, so 15 Melkanakku, so such ancient Tamil works were compiled during the Pandyan dynasty only. So they were composed, so they were compiled, the poems were compiled during the Pandya dynasty only. So the Pandyans only supported the compilation of such poems. Okay, so the Mangulam Tamil Brahmi inscription mentions the king Nedunjeliyan. So the Mangulam Tamil Brahmi inscription mentions about the Pandya king Nedunjeliyan. So Pandyan Nedunjeliyan. So apart from some other important rulers of Pandya were Nediyon, Mudathirumaran, then can you read that name? Nediyon, Mudathirumaran, then Palayagasaalai Mudugudumi Peruvaludi. Okay, you have to read it as Palayagasaalai Mudugudumi Peruvaludi. So some of the important ruler of the Pandya dynasty. Okay, so the Mangalam inscription mentions about the famous Pandya king Nedunjalian. Yeah. Then apart from some other important rulers of Pandyas of Sangam age were Nediyon, Mudathirumaran, Palayagasale, Mudugudumi, Peruvaludi. Okay. Then the Pandyan symbol was fish. Yeah. So do you know the symbols of Chera and Chola? Yeah, Chera, it was what? Yeah, bow and arrow. Chola, it was tiger. Then the Pandyas, it was fish. Yeah. Then the notable Chera king was, yeah, Cheran Chengutuvan. Then the Chola king, yeah, Karihalan. Then the Pandya. So which king was mentioned in Mangalam Tamil Brahmi inscription? Yeah, King Nedunjaliyan. Okay, so the Pandyas, so they ruled the southern part of Tamil Nadu with Madurai as their capital. The most important king was King Nedunjaliyan. Then apart from that, other kings, other rulers also mentioned, that is Nediyon, Mudathirumaran, Palayagasale, Mudugudimi, Peruvaludi. Then the Pandyan symbol was the fish. Then the Valirs and the chieftains. So apart from the Vendors, there were Valirs and numerous chieftains who occupied territories on the margins of the Movendhar. Yes, apart from the Vendors, apart from the Movendhars, there were Valirs, so small kings, so small chiefdoms, and numerous chieftains who occupied territories on the margins of the Movendhar. So the Valirs were the seven. Yes, so the Valirs were the seven chiefs. They were Pari, Kari, Ori, Nalli, Began, Ai, and Adiyaman. Yeah, so the seven Valirs. So the seven chiefs were Pari, Kari, Ori, Nalli, Began, Ai, Adiyaman. Yeah, so Sangam poems write extensively about the generosity of these Valirs. So generosity means, so fact of being generous. That is, they gave freely. So they will, so they wish to give the things to the poets freely. Yeah, so they were famous for their generosity. Yeah, so in Tamil they were together called as Kadai Elu Vallalgal. Yeah, so these Valirs, so together in Tamil called as Kadai Elu Vallalgal. So because of their generosity, so these chiefs had intimate, that is close relationship with the poets of their time, and were known for their large heartedness. So these chief, so these Valirs had close contact, so close relationship with the poets, so the famous poet of their time, and they were known for their kind-heartedness. So these chieftains had alliance with one or other of the Movendhar and helped them in their battle against the other Vendors. So these chieftains, so sometimes what they do means they had alliance with any one of the Movendhar and fought against the other Vendors. Okay, ma? So Valirs are chieftains. So apart from the Vendors, there were Valirs and numerous chieftains who occupied the territories on the margins of Movendhar. So the Valirs were the seven. They were Pari, Kari, Ori, Nalli, Began, Ai, and Adiyaman. So Sangam poems write extensively about the generosity of these Valirs. So Sangam poem speaks large about these Valirs. So this chief had close contact with the poets of their time and were known for their large heartedness. So were known for their kind heart. These chieftains had alliance with one or other Movendhar and helped them in their battle against the other Vendors. Okay, students, in today's class we discussed about the Sangam age polity, especially the Movendhars. So the Chera, Chola, and Pandya. Okay, so based on the evidences we got, based on the references from Ashoka inscription and the Greek or Roman text, we came to know that ancient Tamilagam was ruled by kings. So the large territorial area was ruled by the Movendhars. So Chera, Chola, Pandya. Okay, so today we discussed about the Chera, Chola, Pandya. So if you have any doubt in this topic, so contact me. In tomorrow's class we will discuss about the society in Sangam age. Okay, so today's textbook reading. So take page number 40. Just to read about the Valirs and the chieftains. So a small topic is enough for textbook reading. Homework. So take page number 50. Sixth Roman letter. Answer the following in detail. So first question, to what extent do you think the political powers of Tamilagam influenced the Sangam age polity? So answer in page number 38, 39 and 40. So for the first detail, take page number 38, 39 and 40. So first take page number 38. Take na. So in that, see the heading, the MUVENDHAR. So under the Sangam age polity, the political powers of Tamilagam, there is a heading called as the MUVENDHAR. Mark that paragraph fully. So among the political powers of the Sangam age, the Chera, Chola, Pandya occupied preeminent position. They were known as MUVENDHAR. So the MUVENDHAR controlled the major town and ports of the Sangam period. Then first heading, the Cheras. So the Cheras, referred to as the Kerala Putras in the Asoka inscription, controlled the region of present-day Kerala and also the western part of Tamil Nadu. Vanchi was their capital of the Cheras, while Musiri and Tondi were their port towns. So mark up to that. Then after 2 lines, mark 1 point. Paditru Pattu speaks about the Chera kings and their territory. Then next page, so second paragraph. That is just about that QR code. The bow and arrow was the symbol of the Cheras. Mark that point. Then the Cholas heading. So the Cholas ruled over the Kaveri Delta and the northern part of Tamil Nadu. Their capital was Urayur and their port town was Kaveri Pumbattinam or Pumbuhar. So mark up to that. Then leave the next line. Then come to the third line. Pattinapalai is a long poem about Kaveri Pumbattinam. Up to that. So Pattinapalai is a long poem about Kaveri Pumbattinam. Then leave the next line. Then come to next line. Silappadiharam describes the trading activities at Kaveri Pumbattinam. Karihalan is notable among the Chola king. Then next page. So first line, the Chola emblem was tiger and they issued square copper coins with the image of a tiger on the obverse and elephant and the sacred symbols on the reverse. Chola. Then the Pandyas. So the Pandyas who ruled the southern part of Tamil Nadu are referred in the Asokan inscription. Madurai was Pandya's capital. Tamil literary tradition credits Pandyan rulers with patronizing Tamil Sangam and supporting the compilation of poems. Then in that paragraph, that last point, the Pandyan symbol was the fish. Next to last heading, Velirs or chieftains. So in that first 3 points, that is, apart from the Vendars, there were Velirs and numerous chieftains who occupied territories on the margins of the MUVENDHAR. The Velirs were the 7 chiefs, Pari, Kari, Ori, Nalli, Pekan, Ai and Adiyaman. Sangam poems write extensively about the generosity of these Velirs. So up to that, enough. So this is your answer for first detail. Okay, so mark it correctly. So if you have any doubt, contact me. So thank you. Have a nice day.